Welcome back, Attack. I'm Skyler, and today we're going to be talking about Twilight Rising, a new Zelda-inspired MMORPG. I believe using the Eclipse engine. This is an engine that kind of allows you to build MMOs. It's kind of dated, but we're going to be talking about that here in this first impression. Now, this is a Zelda-inspired game, but like it's not Zelda. It's not officially licensed Zelda. And I guess apparently all the sprites and everything are just inspired by Zelda. It's not the actual sprites, though whenever I first got into the game, it totally looked exactly like maybe Minish Cap Zelda or Four Swords Zelda. Now, the company that's making this is called Four Swords Incorporated or something like that. You can go to fourswords.com to download and play the game. I don't know if this game is going to be taken down or not. The developer said that it would not. Hopefully not. I mean, the MMO for Pokemon is actually pretty good. I really do like it. There's actually a couple of them out there. It's okay. I think it's possible. There's space in the market for, I guess, this game, especially because it doesn't cost any money. I don't believe there should be any microtransactions whatsoever. It's just a for fun thing. And with that in mind, just acknowledging that this isn't a AAA game, coming into this, it's actually kind of interesting. Now, when I first got into the game, I even did a video talking about how I was really displeased with the game. Then again, the other titles like this, like the Pokemon MMO, whenever it first started, it really was extremely rough. It was very, It was kind of hard to actually progress or do anything. It was really buggy too. Now, this game's going to be no exception. But the problem with this game compared to the Pokemon MMO is that the gameplay, is very inspired by Zelda, right? Okay, so we want sort of like an action RPG kind of thing going on that's in an MMO world. Don't get me wrong, there's bosses, there's puzzles, there's monsters you fight, and you don't go into instance battle zones like in the Pokemon MMO. It would be an action RPG, technically, maybe, but it's really slow-paced, and this might be a limitation of the Eclipse engine that it's using. So, like, normally, whenever you're playing, like, a Zelda game, let's say, like, Linked to the Past or something like that, you can, like, swing your sword and then quickly switch a weapon and do something else, and you can dash and roll, and you have all these other action attacks, and dare I say combos, maybe even potentially. At least for, back then, those combos, that game was intense, man. I mean, I know it's no, like, freaking Path of Exile or something like that, all graphical and shit, but still, even though it was a 2D game, it was still quite actiony, as an action RPG. I mean, technically it was. This game really lends itself towards, like, MMOs. It's got leveling progression, it's got damage numbers. I don't know if any Zelda games have damage numbers. It's always just, like, hearts, whatever. Anyways, you have health bars, you have mana bars, stamina bars. You can run, sort of, kind of, you move a little bit faster. You can choose from different classes, even, in this game, instead of having different, you do have different items. For instance, the mage starts out with a magic wand, and that's how you cast spells. But you also have stats, so you can actually level up, like, strength, or, I think, spirit, and, stuff like that. Basically, it just seems like an MMO, it's definitely way more MMO than it is Zelda. Now, it's sort of just skinned Zelda, and that could be cool too. I mean, there are some really interesting aspects to the game, like there's puzzle solving and stuff like that you could do with a party, and the fact that it's like a Zelda-like game that is actually multiplayer with PvP. It does have PvP. That's pretty exciting, pretty interesting, and there is actually quests. Now, keep in mind, if you're playing this English, the translation is rough. I don't know if there's other languages for this game to play it in, but I just know that the English translation is not accurate, and it's really weird and wonky and awkward to try to figure out what you're supposed to do and stuff like that, let alone just the mechanics itself and how that all works out. But yeah, you do have, I did one dungeon, okay? So you start the game and you go into this giant tree and you go and kill monsters with people. Now the puzzles, how do they work? I don't know if this game is like custom made for like open world questing, because that's what the dungeon was. You go into the dungeon and it's an open world dungeon. And so there are puzzles that you can do, or you can be walked through. Like if you sit behind a party, since it's public, you don't even have to like party up with anybody. You can just kind of trail behind them. So in the first dungeon, you do have your usual like switches that turn on and off different areas, like bridges, stuff like that. You have to push boxes. There's keys, so they do have a key element. So you either have to get one of your party members to go get the key, and then you can go do a different part of the dungeon, maybe, potentially. Or you can, like I said, you can just follow behind a public party, or something like that. Or you could go do it yourself. You can go do the entire dungeon yourself. But the fact is that it was a little bit awkward for me since it was public. So some people would open doors for me, and I would go do a later part of the dungeon before I really was supposed to, and then I'd get lost, and I'd just basically redo the dungeon myself. And all in all, I don't know. I think it's really cool, the idea of public problem solving, of public puzzles. I think that's really cool. I think Transform Ice is like a platformer that does that. There was like a Myst MMO. I don't know how well that did, but that was a thing. You know, there's actually some games that have it, but not many at all. I want to say Guild Wars 2 has some, but I can't think of any. I don't think there was any in Guild Wars 2. Which would be a great game to have some. I would really think so, with all their jumping puzzles. But yeah, so pretty much, there's like no games I can think of that do public puzzle solving. And this game, I don't know if it's doing it right. It could have been really simple because it was the first dungeon, but I think the potential is there. You know, if you're gonna make a Zelda MMO, which has puzzles, and then you're gonna have like the MMO component to those puzzles, and if you're actually a really good game designer, you can make some really cool MMO puzzles. I think that it's a concept that's not really utilized, and if it is utilized, those games are incredibly niche, or it's like a very small facet of that MMO. So I'm just saying, maybe they could do it if the dungeons were party only, like as in you had to be in a party, or it just wasn't public. But I really like the idea that this game is completely open world and completely public. I'm just saying, we're kind of getting off on a tangent. But let's talk about some of the raw mechanics here. So you're looking at the gameplay, and it looks kind of shitty because I think it's 800 by 600. If you full screen it, you can't do 1080p. But yeah, I hate this, man. I hate when games do that, but it's probably a limitation of the Eclipse engine or whatever engine they are using. It says they're using a custom engine, but it looked like the Eclipse engine. There's supposed to be music, and in some instances, like in the towns, there's music, but in the dungeon, I don't think I heard any music. Now, there was sound effects. One problem I had with the sound design was that whenever I was in any sort of instance of the dungeon, any floor or room or whatever, I would hear other people's attacks and everything as if it was coming from my character. So there wasn't any sort of like AoE or area sound effects. Like there wasn't any, not even stereo, right? Like or surround sound. There was nothing that, if he was to the left, it wouldn't sound like he's coming from the left. It would just be like really fucking loud in my face as if my character was making that fucking fireball and killing that monster. So I'm just saying, it wasn't too annoying. I mean, it's something I could get over, but I would like, you know, some sound actual design there. And yeah, music would be pretty cool. So whenever I did listen to some music in the towns, the music was either directly ripped from a Zelda game, I don't know which one, or maybe they just remade it themselves, but either way, it is a Zelda song, and basically this game looks like a Zelda game in every way, but how it plays potentially could be really good. I mean, if they tune up the latency factor, or maybe that could have been just the server, right? Maybe the game actually does play really, really fast if you have a really good connection. I doubt it, though. I don't know. Maybe they could tune that up. Maybe they can add in music. And remember, this is early in development, so it's kind of newish, and these kind of games normally have like these huge fan bases, like that are really hardcore. And maybe it'll get some support, and maybe it'll continue to grow like we saw with the plethora of different Pokemon MMOs, like I keep saying again. So hopefully it doesn't get shut down. As long as they don't charge money, maybe it could actually, you know, survive. It could be good. It really could. I like the idea of playing as different kind of characters. But then again, I just want to say, if you come into this thinking that it's going to be a Zelda game, you're going to have a really bad time. In fact, I honestly think that maybe they should rebrand the game. Maybe change up some music, change up the cosmetics, the aesthetic of the game. Honestly, because if you come into it thinking it's a Zelda game, you're not gonna have a good time. I mean, if you're a hardcore Zelda fan, you're gonna instantly pick out every single thing wrong with this game. This game really reminds me of something like Ragnarok Online or the new Tree of Savior Online. It just feels more like an MMO versus action RPG. And that could be good. It could be good, but if you think of it like a Zelda game, it's gonna get awkward. I think when people think of Zelda MMO, they have these certain expectations, and at the moment, this game doesn't meet those expectations. But if you drop those expectations and you drop your bias, and you don't mind the shitty graphics, and honestly, the very early in development build of the game, you could have a good time. I mean, at least a little bit. Get a friend in here, probably. It seemed okay. Now, I did have a lot of glitches, so I can't really talk too much about the game. Like, I couldn't even push boxes, which apparently everyone else had such an easy time doing. I was really, like, everything was really clunky. I couldn't type in the chat bar. Like, it was locked for some reason. If you guys look at the footage, it just says constantly, like, an S in the bottom of the chat. I couldn't touch it. I don't know, man. And I couldn't pick up items properly. Like, there was a whole lot of glitches for me, personally. However, I did not just play this for 15 minutes. I played this game for hours. Yeah, I was troubleshooting for a long time, and I played it for a little bit, so this first impression was a little bit more in-depth than I would normally go for this quality of game. But I guess maybe I'm kind of glad. I feel like I can see the potential for it, but then again, I feel like I'm really just kind of stretching. Maybe because I just like where the game could potentially go, and I want that genre of game. But yeah. Anyways, so you can play between a mage, a warrior, you got your usual archetypes, but really what it feels like is every class just kind of was a different item in like the Zelda franchise, like the magic wand, the master sword, and they just made it like into a whole class. So really it lacks mechanics. In the normal Zelda game, like basically Link has all these different items. He's essentially all these different classes. In this game, I don't know how they're going to expand it. I just started. It's just a first impression, but right now it seems like it lacks a huge amount of depth. But it still could evolve, and it could be pretty fun. I'm just saying it could be. I know a lot of you guys want to hate on this game right now. You probably hate it, or you probably love it. But go play it, go try it, and maybe it could turn out into something. But right now, it's maybe not worth your time. It's just a little bit too glitchy and too buggy. I guess that's it. That's all my thoughts. I just kind of ranted on this game. I don't know. It's K. I think it could be something. That's all. That's all, man. I'm done. I'm Skylent with Attack Gaming. This was Twilight Rising. I don't know if the name's gonna change. I don't know if it's gonna get shut down by Nintendo. The developers said that it shouldn't, but then again, who knows? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Welcome back, Attack. Today, we're going to be talking about the top 10 free-to-play MMOs for this year, for 2015, and I think across all the genres for free-to-plays, we've seen so much innovation in MOBAs, in MMOs, in, like, card games. We've seen so many new things this past year, and hopefully, maybe, probably so, 2015 is going to be just as exciting. This is our